So today we're going to talk about Heroku. You're here for a tour of Heroku, I hope, or at the very least to learn something that you were not expecting to learn. We're going to talk about how to continuously deliver, manage, and scale applications on the Heroku platform. My name is Jonan Scheffler. I'm a developer advocate at Heroku. We're all developers here, maybe. Can I see a developer show of hands? I'm trying to target carefully. All right. I'm about half developer. The other half is guy who talks loud on stage. That's what developer advocate means, I think. So I'm going to talk to you about what Heroku is today. What is Heroku specifically? Heroku has made one glorious product, this logo right here. You may have seen it around. This is our primary product. It's purple. We invented the color purple. We also made this logo. It's taken us a very long time, but we're quite proud. I think in a couple more iterations, we're going to nail it. We also make a platform as a service. It's kind of an ancillary. It's like a side business thing. I hope you're all familiar with what a platform as a service is, because you're all Heroku customers and you love and adore our platform already. But if you are not, I'm going to briefly give you a little history. So there was this thing a long time ago called software as a service. And software as a service came into an industry where buying, for example, a CRM solution for your business meant 3 to 6 months of contract negotiations and golfing trips and steak dinners and on and on and on. And Salesforce came onto the scene, and they changed that whole thing, right, with SaaS. So software as a service meant that I could use my credit card and log into the site, and we had a CRM that day, and it was a big deal. And the rest of the industry looked at that, and they realized it was a big enough deal that they were going to copy it. So suddenly we had infrastructure as a service, which is not as good as SaaS because it doesn't make a good acronym. How do you say that? YAS? Is that what you would? I don't know. You got to think about these things when you're building your technologies, okay? But infrastructure as a service, fundamentally, is what we now talk about as cloud, right? And I think Amazon, it's fair to say Amazon was pretty much the pioneer in this, right? So instead of now ordering 30 servers and setting them up in your office, you have the option to spin them up on demand, right? Minutes or seconds later, you have all of the resources you need. I don't know about you, but I can't remember the last time I heard someone starting a company be like, man, as soon as those 30 servers get here from China, we're going to be up and rolling. We're going to be on the information superhighway. I'm so excited, right? It doesn't happen anymore, and that's how much this has taken over the world. So that was infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service is the next evolution of that, and I'm going to detail that real quickly. So this is infrastructure as a service. This is much, much simpler than buying your servers and figuring out where to put them and keeping them from setting on fire, right? And this is not an important thing to read. I understand it's quite small. That's on purpose. But this diagram here is just a detailed map of some of the decisions you would make if you were choosing to build out on infrastructure as a service, right? You need to choose a provider. You're going to be on Amazon or Google. Which operating system are you going to use? Maybe Linux. So you're on Ubuntu. Which version? Does it support the version of Elasticsearch you want to use? You don't know. There are a lot of problems here. There are a lot of decisions to make, even on infrastructure as a service. So that's what infrastructure as a service looks like, and this is what platform as a service looks like. This is what Heroku offers you. You give us your code, and we deploy it. We give you a website to manage it. You can scale and manage all of those resources from the web UI or from a command line tool. So let me show you what that looks like real quick. This is me creating a Heroku app on the command line. I say, Heroku, create my first app, right? Done. So now we've got this container up here on the Heroku platform. It's empty right now, though. There's nothing in it, right? So let's put some code in it. When I said Heroku create my first app, it added a Git remote for me. So I can now just say git push Heroku master, and I'm putting the code up there in the platform. And what does Heroku do? Heroku detects that it's a PHP app automatically. And it does this using a series of reticulating splines and dividing rods, I believe. I'm not 100% confident. But we've detected this PHP app, so we set up a PHP runtime environment for you. We install the things that you need just based on your code base. Git push Heroku, we'll take care of the rest. We're installing all of the dependencies that your application is going to need. Finally, we compress, we launch. You have a URL. Your site is live on the internet. We just went from code to application in seconds instead of minutes, weeks, months, years, right? So that ease of developer experience has what brought Heroku to 13 plus billion with a B requests a day. That's where we are right now. We host over 6 million applications on the Heroku platform. We provide 150 plus add-on services. Add-on services is a new one. I haven't talked about that yet, so let's cover it. Add-ons are partners on the platform that provide their services to you in a very simple and easy access way, just like the rest of Heroku. So if you're building an application, you're going to need a relational database, probably. If you don't have any data for your application, that's just called a script, and maybe wait Keep iterating until you have an application, okay? No, we don't want a relational database. We want documented oriented, okay? Fine, I totally understand. Schema's not for everybody. We need some full text search. That's something we're going to need in our application, right? People are presumably going to want to find things. Monitoring. From personal experience, I can tell you the correct answer when the boss calls at 3 a.m. and says, is the website down? The correct answer is not, I don't know. So you should get some monitoring in your application so you know next time. Content delivery. If you're going to be sending those sweet, sweet cat gifts to Hong Kong, it's a long way, even at the speed of light. You're going to need a CDN. You're going to need an email gateway. Presumably, you want to communicate with these new customers. You're going to need log storage. How are you going to store those things? How are you going to search them? How are you going to aggregate them? Has anyone ever tried to SSH into a server that you couldn't get into anymore because it was full of logs and you forgot to set up log rotation? Yeah, I did that. That's pretty fun. I don't miss infrastructure as a service. I'm quite a big fan of Heroku. Your app needs add-ons, all right? So let's look at a couple of those solutions. Heroku Add-Ons Create is the command line interface to get an add-on set up. You want to create Postgres? Done. Heroku Postgres. You want to create Redis? How about Heroku Redis? We offer both of those on our own platform. We've got Mongo Labs. They're an add-on partner. You want to use a NoSQL store? We've got you covered. How about that search thing? Elasticsearch. New Relic is about the best it gets for monitoring. You've got Fastly to get those cat gifts. They actually have servers in Hong Kong right now, so you don't have to. It's amazing. SendGrid sends all of your emails. Logging in Papertrail. This is just a small selection of add-ons that we've chosen to show you, and they're all part of the Heroku Elements Marketplace here. So all of those 150 plus that are on there, and it's a significant plus if I remember, they're available right here in the Elements Marketplace, and you can add all of them just as easily as I just showed you. You can include all of those add-ons in your application. All those products and services are at your fingertips. Well, great, Jonan, but my CatGIF app is going to be raffle scale, right? Everyone's app is going to be raffle scale. You're going to be rich, and I'm excited for you. I hope you are rich, and I hope you remember that one guy, Jonan, was really a turning point in my career. I'm going to buy him a Tesla, okay? Everyone here owes me a Tesla. So this is how we scale on the Heroku platform, right? You just got on the front page of the internet. I didn't even know there was a front page of the internet, but now that you're there, you're going to need 9 times as much, right? And so you say, I want 9 instances, and I want big ones. I want standard 2x, double the 1x, right? So you get bigger ones. You've got 9 of them. We spin them up. 4 seconds ago, they're all live, and they've all got your code. And your application just scaled horizontally. That 2x thing I referred to, we have different dyno sizes. You can scale vertically as well. When you're done, and your run on the front page of the internet, congratulations, is over, then you spin them back down. And you only pay for what you use, prorated to the second. All of these dynos, these instances that you're running, they've all got metrics behind them. You can go in and check them out on the metrics page here in Heroku's dashboard. So I did a lot of talking, but maybe you want to do some more coding or seeing, right? So I've got a little demo here. I'm going to make a deal with you. We've already got the Tesla on the table, but I'm going to build an application from scratch. I'm going to add email and a database and logging. I'm going to ship it to production and set up a developer workflow. I'm going to make changes, PR them, see a review application in use, and ship those live in about the next 15 minutes. Who thinks I can do it? I'm glad someone believes in me. That's great. I really appreciate it. I tell you what, let's put a little, we'll make it interesting. I'll bet you that I can do this. If I fail, I'll buy you all beer. And alternatively, you buy me drinks, okay? No one's nodding that you're not sold on this dream. All right, let's do it. So I'm going to pop out here to my command line, which is on the wrong window. Whoops, here we go. Just like that. And you all can see that okay, I hope. Maybe it's a little too big. How about like that? All right, so we're going to make a directory. We're going to call it Killer Dynos. This is our new, I just had an idea for a startup just now. It's a really good one. We're going to be super rich, okay? We're going to Killer Dynos here. And because we're innovators and we want to work with something rad, we're going to use PHP. Also, because PHP can also just be plain text, and I didn't specify I was going to have real code in my application that made you buy me beer. So, hello, Trailhead X. I'm going to anticipate that the product team is going to ask me to embiggen, so I'm just going to go ahead and embiggen right now. Look at me looking ahead. All right. And there we have our application, index.php. So I'm going to create a Git repository here. I'm going to add that file. Great. Let's commit it. Let's see. The future is bright. Look at that. We got to wear shades. It's so bright. We're going to be rich. So now I've got that application. It's a Git repo. All I need to do is do Heroku Create. What's a good name for our application, somebody? I heard Killer Dinos. That is an excellent name for an application. Well done, team. All right, we're creating Killer Dinos. We're going to git push Heroku master. And we're building from the source. It detects that we're on PHP. It says something, something. This is not even half of a PHP app. What are you doing? But it still works. And now we're live on the internet, right? So I can say Heroku open and pop open a browser and say hello, trailheads. A round of applause for Jonah Scheffler, please, real quick. Thank you so much. Really, it's too kind. All right. So we've got our application. It's live in production. Another nice feature of the command line here, I'm going to make this a little smaller so we can all see. There's a huge plugin ecosystem for the command line interface. So one of those plugins I can use is Heroku Browse, and that'll let me just pop open to my Heroku dashboard. I have Heroku open to go see the app in production, right? But maybe I want to see it on the dashboard here. Again, we're going to make this a little smaller so everybody can see. So I am loading up on my dashboard here, presumably. I want to see if I can make this display better for you all real quick. I don't know why that one got real small when I switched back and forth, but that's going to make everything terrible for us here. And now I got to make this bigger, and now I got to make this bigger. And we're reticulating some splines. And I'm probably having some slow internet here on my Wi-Fi device, so I'm going to try it again. I should have a hardwired connection. I don't think I should have been on that one. So let's try again. Nope, I don't have a hardwired connection. I was just kidding. This is all part of the plan. It's not going to, I'm going to renege on the beer deal right now because there's no way I'm making 15 minutes. Wi-Fi issues were not part of the plan, okay? Once we connect again here, we'll get that set up. So once I have internet, I'm able to communicate with the Heroku servers. And what I'm going to do shortly is show you the Heroku dashboard and some of the resources that are available there, some of those add-ons that we're going to pop in place. And I am not yet online, but about to be. It's the future. Technology is amazing, right? I was pretty sure we'd have teleporters and jetpacks by now, and you can't even get a pretend jetpack to do its job. I just want one internet for my live demo, please. How many of you do live demos? You should stop it. This is a terrible idea. It's real bad, right? So I need help, someone over there, if they can get me on a Wi-Fi network or make my wired connection work, either of those would be good. Okay, wait, I got a Wi-Fi network. I'm live. Let's try again. Ah, thank you. If you could all get off of the Trailhead Wi-Fi network. Oh, thank you very much. I think I'm good now. I think we have it. Okay, so, gosh, I just blew 2 whole minutes just showing you the dashboard. This is the dashboard. Look at it. Was it worth the wait? I think it was. It's beautiful, right? So on the Heroku dashboard here on the right side, you've got your latest activity stream. This is what just happened. Over here, we've got the add-ons. Notice all the zeros. It's free right now. It's not costing you any money. You get an app for free on the Heroku platform. So let's look under this resources tab and see what we can find. Add-ons, that sounds good. I promised you a Heroku database. Let's see if we can get a Heroku database on our app. For free, that's my favorite price. Let's do it. Postgres is done. So now you've got a Postgres database. What else did I promise you? Email? I think I said email. Let's do email. SendGrid's right there. We can have a SendGrid provider. Free plan. Most all of the add-ons on the Elements Marketplace have free plans available to you, and they will grow with you. You can scale them just like you scale Heroku. It's just as easy. As you get bigger and you need more resources, they can scale up as well. Somebody give me something else we should add. We need a third thing. Logging? Did someone say logging? I heard logging. I'm just going to pretend I can hear people. You got to really scream because it's loud up here. They're trying to talk over me, which is incredibly rude, people out in the expo hall. All right, so we've got paper trail now. Look at that. Logging, database, email. That was probably 30 seconds, aside from the couple minutes we had with the dashboard. Great. Let's go to the next tab over here and check this out. This deploy tab, what does that have? We've got pipelines in here. Have you ever seen a pipeline before? Raise your hands if you know what a pipeline is. On Heroku? Kind of? This is awesome. This changed my life as a developer, actually. I really like Heroku pipelines, and I like this specific developer workflow, so I'm going to walk you through it real quick. We're going to create a pipeline. I'm going to call it Killer Dinos because it is an excellent name, and I thought of it myself. And here we've got our pipeline. There are two halves here so far, right? We've got staging on the left. It made Killer Dinos, our single application, the production app. Okay? So this is a developer workflow tool where I can have a staging application, and then I can promote it to production. And I can do other magic things with staging as well, like I can automatically run CI, but I'll show you how to do all that stuff. So we're going to need an existing app, though, if we want to do that. Let's create our staging application here. So as I mentioned, when we do the Heroku Create on the command line, that creates this Heroku remote for us, right? But since that one is now production, let's go ahead and rename it production, so that when the boss calls at 3 a.m. and we're still a little bit drunk, we remember the name. That's my programming pro tip for you all. Name things so even drunk you knows what they are. It's excellent advice. All right, so we've got that remote, and now I'm going to go ahead and create another application, Killer Dinos Staging. This is our staging app. When I create that, it recreates that Heroku for us. And now let's go ahead and rename that real quick from Heroku to staging. Whoops. I'm looking for remote rename. Nobody tried to stop me? I usually get some like live debugging help. We're pairing en masse here. This is 150 people pairing at the same time. Help a brother out. Get remote rename Heroku staging. Okay, there we go. So now I've got this application here for staging. I'm going to push it up to staging, push my master branch up to staging. Again, just as fast as the first time. I would Heroku open this one for you as well. Spoiler alert, it is exactly the same code. So let's go back over to the pipeline. We've got that deployed, and now I can go to add an existing app. So if I type killer in here, hopefully I don't have a bunch of killer apps in my Heroku. There we go. All right, because that would be super creepy, and I should have deleted them before the demo. So Killer Dino Staging is now up there, right? And there are no changes to promote on Killer Dino Staging, but if there were changes, we could promote them over here to production. So this says connect this pipeline to GitHub to enable additional features. Who likes additional features? I love additional features. It's like my favorite, right? So we'll connect to GitHub. But if we're going to connect to GitHub, we're going to need a GitHub repo real quick. So I'm going to create that repo. And now I'm going to have a Killer Dinos repo. Again, this just adds a Git remote, right? Just like everything else. So now I've got my origin Git remote. I'll go git push origin master. Now we're on GitHub, and Heroku has something to connect to. So I go back over here, and I type in Killer Dinos. Will I find the application? Let's see. We have a winner. All right, so I'm connecting it. We're connected to GitHub. So I've connected my GitHub repository to my Heroku application and to my two applications on the same pipeline. What does that even get us? Well, let's go check it out. I want to stop here real quick and point out this test tab. This is where you can enable CI. Heroku CI on the platform is a fantastic product. We just launched that recently. You should check it out. So now I've got Killer Dino Staging here. And I'm going to do one more thing on this application. Now that I've got connected to GitHub, this little configure automatic deploys thing popped up. I can automatically deploy. So a very common workflow for me when I'm writing code with a team is for me to make a PR and have my teammates come and look at the PR and be like, Jonan, you are a bad programmer. And me to be like, I know, I'm sorry. And then they fix my code, and then we get it merged, right? And it comes into master. We like to automatically ship that to staging so we can start poking it on a real server, right? That's where the QA can happen. And then you can promote it directly to production. You can actually, during the process of enabling these automatic deploys, you could wait for CI to pass before you deploy as well. So if CI doesn't pass, then master won't deploy if you merge broken changes in. In this case, we would be waiting quite a long time, I think, for CI to pass because we don't have any tests at all. So let's just enable our automatic deploys. All right, we're done. What else do we have? We got this new box on the left, this review apps thing. Anyone ever used review apps? This is the best ever. Remember the part where my coworkers are coming and they're looking at my PR and they're like, Jonan, you said you changed the button from green to blue like we told you to, but when I downloaded the code and spun up the app, it was still green. What are you even doing wasting my time, right? And that was a significant investment. There's context switching. It maybe takes me a half hour on a good day to review a PR, right? So we've got this enable review apps feature. And when I enable this, it's going to create an AF.json file. That's fine with me. This is just a configuration file we need in order to make this thing happen. You kind of tell us what you want these little applications to look like, right? I'm going to go ahead and commit that to the repo. It automatically generates a default for me, which is fine in this case. But what's going to happen now is that anytime a new pull request appears, it's going to get its own app on the Heroku platform. That pull request gets a version of the production application running with the new modified code. So I'm going to create new review apps, and I'm going to destroy them because I am Jonan, the destroyer of apps. And enabled. All right. So now we're automatically deploying master, and I got a promote to production button here. I can promote this build over here if I want to. So product just came back to me. We are in the middle of a pivot with our Killer Dinos startup. We're going to make a change, and we'll see what happens here, OK? So let me pull down that app.json file here real quick. All right. And I'm going to check out a new branch. What feature should we add? Anyone have a recommendation? Cute dinosaur GIF. Excellent suggestion. I happen to have one sitting in my home folder right now. So we'll copy one over here. Where's my cute dino GIF? There it is. Welcome to here. We'll go into this index page. I did tell you I wasn't going to write any real code, but check this out. Image tag. What? I know. I'm a programmer. It's pretty amazing. Uh-oh. Was it a JPEG? Yep. No, it's a GIF. Of course it's a GIF. What are you doing? Who put this guy on stage? All right. We got our new image tag. We're saving our file. Let's add those things. Commit them. The cuteness overwhelms. I didn't do GIF? See? That's what I'm talking about, pairing. You got my back, don't you? It said copy didn't exist, because copy is not what you type. It's CP. I promise that I've done this about 30 times in the last 24 hours. All right, how about that? Now let's commit those. Thank you so much. That would have been real confusing. OK, how about that? So we're going to push this up to GitHub. Now we've got this cute branch up on GitHub. We want to create a PR from this thing here, OK? So I'll go back to this hub thing. This is a great little gem, too, if you want to. I'm not actually sure if it is a Ruby gem anymore. Whatever they make hub in, it's a great little tool to work with GitHub on the command line. And we've got our PR message. That sounds good. You should make your PR messages better than that. That's real annoying when I go to review your PR, and there's no context. And there's our PR right there. Check it out. OK, so we opened Qt. And what's this? The Jonan Show requested a deployment for Killer Dino staging PR1. And so we go back over here to the pipeline, and we see that we're creating an application. That application is running our new code that we just shipped on that PR. And when it's done, you see here that you can view the deployment on the page. So you don't need to pull down someone's code. You've got a CI system to run the tests. You've got a live version of what that code looks like. You can click into the website and check it out. Let's see what this code looks like. I think the new vision for our product is especially cute. We're pivoting towards dinosaurs in chopsticks. I'm not sure why. So here we've got a pipeline again, right, with our app in staging. And we're going to go back over to that pull request. I'm going to merge the pull request. Cute, merged, comes on over into master. So right here on this pipeline, presumably we will see something automatically deployed because master just changed. Is that our new build? That can't be that easy. Does that seem plausible to everybody? Oh, it's building right now. I just got excited. I was so excited for the cute dinosaurs in staging. We got to get this to the QA team right away. OK, so it looks like we released less than a minute ago. And now I can go ahead and open this application here and prove to myself that when we send the QA link, we still have cute dinosaur. Great. So that took a couple of seconds there, right? Which is still a pretty long time, actually, for the Heroku platform, because when we're ready to take these changes live, QA's checked it out. We've already reviewed the PR. We're done. We're going to click here and promote to production. And promote happens even faster than that. In fact, instantly, because we use the slug we already built. We already built that thing, and now it's up there in production. Pretty awesome, right? I want to show you one more thing real quick. That scaling thing that I talked about, right? So we're going to go ahead and tail the logs. Let's go Heroku logs tail for our production application. I think someone just said we're on the front page of the internet again. The dino GIFs are taking off. Let's scale up and see what we can do. So I say Heroku PS scale web equals, I don't know. I have infinite free Heroku. Let's do 100 of them. And we're going to make them standard 2x dinos, OK? So we are scaling vertically and horizontally, and I do need to tell it which application I'm using. I want it for my production application, right? And this small explosion that you're about to see on the right side, that's 100 instances of my application being stood up right now. And they're all larger than my original was. All 100 of those launch, and they're done with all of the code and start serving requests right away, because the Heroku's routing mesh automatically balances across all of your existing instances, which we call dynos, thus the cute dino GIF theme, right? That's the entire demo. I'm going to make sure that I shut this down real quick, because that's expensive. But how expensive, really, right? Because it's prorated to the second. So each of those dynos, I think, a 1x is $25 a month. If we were to do that for a minute, we're paying pennies, less than $1, I think, to spin up and respond to that kind of spike in traffic. Another really nice feature today on these applications, so we have an automatic scaling feature that is tied to this metrics tab here. So you look at this metrics tab, we see all of the events that happened on our timeline, we see all of the memory usage for our application, our response times for those dynos, right? All of that available here. We can trigger automatic scaling based on that metrics information. Pretty magic. So during that demo, I showed you a couple of these things. I want to hit you real fast with a couple more, because Heroku data services are far more than what you think they are. Postgres, first of all, right? If you're setting up a Postgres database, configuring and managing that thing can take some time. You're going to need some Postgres experts. And I have terrible news. We hired all of them already. We have some of the best Postgres people in the world. And we have the largest fleet of Postgres databases on the planet. If you want to run Postgres, Heroku's the place to do it. We also offer Redis. That same high availability that you can expect from our Postgres is available with Redis. We also offer now Apache Kafka. To my great regret, our cute dinosaur app is a monolith at this point. It's already 15 minutes old and quite aged. We really should split this thing out into services, right? And anyone who's actually built a service-oriented architecture knows that HTTP is not as reliable as we dream of it being. And as it turns out, this is kind of the solution to that problem. If you need to communicate between services, Kafka is the way to do that. And I would be happy to tell you a lot more about that at the booth over here afterwards. Kafka is a fantastic product. You should check it out. When you get to setting it up, you're very likely to burn up your laptop, like I did when I broke my laptop trying to set up a Kafka cluster on it. I would recommend instead that you use Heroku Kafka, because there's a button for that, a purple one. You can just make a Heroku cluster and wait minutes instead of days or weeks for IT to come back and set up a Kafka cluster for you. We also have Heroku Connect, and I have saved the best for last. I believe that many of you here are working with Salesforce data on a regular basis. And probably, like me, you sometimes get the drive-by CEO who's like, hey, Jonan, how many falafels did we sell in Potrero Hill yesterday? Could you get that to me by 3 p.m. with like graphs, D3JS? OK, bye. And they leave, right? The drive-by CEO trick. I've got to get that data out of Salesforce and build a thing, and that's going to take me a little bit of time. I don't get to do that in 45 minutes. Well, I can do it in 15 on Heroku, because I can set up Heroku Connect, and I can bidirectionally sync data between my Salesforce data and a Postgres database. I can choose which fields I want. I only take the pieces that I need. I sync it both ways, and I can build my application in anything I want: PHP, Node, Ruby, Java. Heroku supports every major language that you could possibly want. So come over by the booth, check out the Heroku Connect product. You're going to love it. CEOs, if you're doing the drive-by thing, please stop it. It's terrible. Thank you so much for taking the time. I had a really good time. Nice to meet you all. I've got 49 seconds for questions. I'm just going to call it good, and you can ask me questions over there. We'll be over there all day. There are 2 booths. I've got another demo for you. It's quite fun.